value for money. And it's good that we're focusing on the football again after 48 hours. Well, Ten Hag in his last week as the coach of the club. There has been somewhat of a fairy tale performance tonight, almost bewitching on the eve of Halloween. Certainly Van Nistelrooy's interim appointment met the approval of the United supporters. And the big names, the big game players have answered his call tonight, though there have been some issues for him to sort out in defence.
Yeah, there have. It certainly doesn't look solid, but I think Manchester United fans were serenading him, as you mentioned, with attack, and that's what they want. That's what they've seen. He will be happy with what he's seen so far, but we see these bounces when managers get sacked. So even if they are Manchester United go on to win this game and score more goals, there's a lot more to think about at this club and a long way to go before it's at the top of Europe's elite again.
The one thing with Van Nistelrooy is that there won't be any favourites in the changing room. He had a fallout with Sir Alex Ferguson. He felt that Cristiano Ronaldo was getting special treatment when he was playing and Ronaldo was starring for United, and that resulted in missing out on the League Cup final against Wigan Athletic. I think it was 2006, the end of his playing career effectively. Don't fall out with Sir Alex. Manchester United kick off the second half. It has been entertaining at the previously called Theatre of Dreams. It hasn't exactly been dreamland in recent years, but as you say, Courtney, it has been a throwback to the old days where goals were aplenty. Football has been fast and flamboyant, and Leicester should have shown a lot of life as well. If they could score a third goal, they may put the frighteners on Manchester United here.
It's one of those football cliches, isn't it? But you think the next goal is going to be vital, and for Leicester they have to score it to get themselves back in. Manchester United get that fifth, it'll be almost then like they'll want it to be almost like an exhibition game. It'll be a great moment for the fans and they'll want to carry on scoring. So Leicester have just got to keep it tight in this first 5 or 10 minutes and try and get themselves back into it.
Zirkzee to Martinez. Rashford not on the score sheet yet. There's Zirkzee. Leicester have come out here full of confidence after that goal just before half-time. Ayew. Macaulay. Canus. Skip. This is other word from Steve Cooper is for his players to go out there and set the tempo of the game after they were under fire from United, and it's maybe working. Justin has a lot of space on this right-hand side. Good sliding tackle from Martinez, who's shuffled along the defensive line to left back tonight.
Yeah, it was a good reaction, and rightly so, because we've said, look, they've already scored 2 goals, Manchester United, Leicester rather. That Manchester United back line hasn't looked the most solid, so there's stuff there to exploit. For me, Leicester just need to get the balance right, because the problem is at times when they have attacked, they've left themselves wide open for the counter-attack. So it's about going forward and being aggressive and getting in the box without leaving yourself short.
More space again for James Justin. Deckard over Reed, flips it in. Ayew waits for it to fall out of the air. Ayew is in there. The United defenders are careful with their challenges, and mopping things up is Casemiro.
It comes to Ayew, I think, a little bit more by luck than judgment. I think there, Deckard over Reed, playing that ball first time. He's probably got more time than he thinks he can take a touch down the side of the box and really drive in, rather than just putting a ball across that was quite blind.
Well, credit to Leicester City, they've come out the traps fighting in the second half, getting in the faces of Manchester United. Maybe Steve Cooper reminding them that they're facing a club in so-called crisis.
Well, exactly, and a club that in the Premier League are not too far behind either, so they shouldn't come here already beaten. A lot of teams over the years have come to Old Trafford and have been beaten before they've got off the coach, but Leicester have got to believe.
Good point. Well, 2 points between the two teams in the Premier League standings after 9 rounds. Thomas with a decoy run. United are not fooled by that. Came off the head. There's that Connor Cody. One of Steve Cooper's achievements at Nottingham Forest was taking the club to their first semi-final since 1992. Leicester do have a good record in this particular competition. Quarter-finals, 5 of the last 7 years. Cody. Been the key man, Justin, on this right-hand side. Where's the two? But he's been the most forward-thinking. Too much on the cross, or is it? And chasing the apparent lost cause is McAteer.
He does well, but I think he's a bit too straight to the ball. If he's coming from wider, McAteer, he can come onto it and try and put the ball back across. You are right, I think Justin does overhit this. You see, he probably doesn't get the technique right. But James Justin, we know he loves to get forward. Loves to get in those attacking wide areas. It's just about putting the right ball in when he gets there.
I'm sure that Steve Cooper has been in deep conversation with his video analyst to see if that goal was offside for Manchester United. He was adamant. His strong complaints earned him a yellow card.
It's easy for me to say from here, but he's got to then try and put that to bed. He'll be frustrated. As you mentioned, he will have probably seen the outcome at half-time. They all have the analysts come down and show it in the changing rooms, but it's done now. It's not going to change, so you've got to work on how, as Leicester, you're going to get back into the game.
Well, they're pinning Manchester United back, struggling to get out of their own half of the field at the start of the second half. Gillick. Gallo. Shimori to Ayew. Good turn from Ayew. Little swivel of the hips. El Khanous with a step over. It's a good interception. The referee has to stop play if it's a head injury. It doesn't go down well with the travelling Leicester fans. Ugarte took one full in the face. Just has to readjust his nose.
right. The referee almost has no choice at this point. As soon as it's contact with the face, he has to stop it. I think there's a hell of a lot in that.
Well, surely should be a drop ball in favour of Leicester City. They had the possession. Sumari. Justin. Coley. Reed flips it over the top of the defence. It's a great ball to Justin. And that needed emergency action to be taken by action man. Casemiro is everywhere.
Yeah, he's been brilliant, hasn't he? But look at this here in terms of Lindelof and De Ligt. In terms of the line that they're keeping, it's all over the shop. So there are frailties. They're not in sync at the moment, and there are spaces to be exploited if you're Leicester City.
Well, they crowd the 6-yard box on Manchester United's backup goalkeepers. A little uncertain in the first half. Casemiro with a header again. El Canus. Manchester United sitting back, rolling with the Leicester punches here. Justin is free again. Headed away by Martinez. There's certainly space to be exploited on this near side of the field for Leicester on the left side of United's defence as Rashford dives in.
I think it's due to, in fact, a little bit the fact it's square pegs in round holes at the back for Manchester United a little bit. You've got Martinez, I personally think he's better at centre half. De Ligt and Lindelof haven't got that relationship just yet, as it seems, and something that James Justin in particular is taking advantage of.
It's the full force of the boys in blue. Everybody forward. Who's El Canus going to pick out? Connor Cody is lurking at the far post. Ayew creating a diversion at the near post. Reed. I think we classed that one as a shot. El Canus, lovely little 1-2. Ayew, player down in the penalty area. If we had VAR, they may be checking that, but the referee saw nothing in free play. And McAteer is feeling the back of his leg.
It's obviously, when it's more muscular like that, you tend to think that it's more a player going down of their own accord. And yeah, you see he slips there. It'll be a mix between his hamstring and his groin that is tweaked.
He had a Bambi moment. Can El Canus put some spin on this ball and put it under the crossbar? Flashes across the Manchester United goal. Dalot with time and space to just slow things down. Fernandes. Lindelof. Certainly a different second half approach this from Manchester United, whether that's intentional or the fact that Leicester have swapped things around. It's a drop of the shoulder there from Ward, who did ward off Xerxes.
I think it will be a mix. I think Manchester United will know that Leicester City are going to come out with a renewed impetus to try and get themselves back in the game. So they're probably expecting to soak up a little bit of pressure, but normally in the changing rooms you do that for 10-15 minutes. We're just getting to that sort of mark now, and Manchester United then will start trying to take the game to Leicester again.
Jamari. Martinez casually to Fernandez. Ugarte. Rashford. Xerxes. Garnacho cuts it back. Fernandez lets it go. Xerxes! Kept out by Ward. Now Garnacho. Xerxes again.
Well, the first shot was certainly better than the second. It's a good piece of play from Manchester United. Garnacho's been bright all night. This moment, I think for me, Xerxes has got to try and wrap that round skip rather than go straight at the goalkeeper.
Well, Casemiro certainly being the key man for Manchester United tonight. This proves that he has been everywhere.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what you want from your midfielders, to be all over the pitch, to get lots of touches on the ball, to be running and showing. It's not necessarily just what he's done attacking-wise, he's defensively been very good too.
Skip. One kind of pass for McAteer. Dalot. Martinez. Not sure what he's doing in the centre of midfield. He may be under the new management, Ruben Amorim, if he does come in, that it may work for United playing three central defenders. It's Fernandez, chance to finish it off, takes his time, and then whams it home for Manchester United's fifth, his second of the night. He's waited all season and two come along at once.
It's like London buses. But this is excellent from Manchester United, and especially Bruno Fernandes, because you see the confidence in him to go round the goalkeeper. Little one round the corner. Yes, there's a bit of fortune there, so poor back pass though. And then you're thinking, does he slot it across the keeper? No, the little drag over, goes past Ward. Quite happy to play cat and mouse on the line with the defender as well. And as I mentioned, for Manchester United this is perfect, because you say in the changing rooms, yes, they're going to come out, you're going to soak up the pressure for 10-15 minutes, then you're going to go forward when you get your opportunity, and that's exactly what they've done.
Well, Sir Alex enjoying the entertainment, and you can see sitting alongside him the England cricket great Michael Vaughan. We're close to a cricket score now. Well, the second half has been a game of patience for Manchester United. They were kind of rolling with the Leicester punches, but then came out with a strong finish there. This is Garnacho. Decordova Reed, soft defending. Rashford. It was a overly zealous challenge, let's put it like that, from Martinez.
Very nearly went from bad to worse for Leicester City. I think Garnacho should do better with this ball. Cross from that left-hand side. What does Steve Cooper do? He's not a happy man.
Well, I'd imagine if he thought there was some life in the game, he would make considerable changes, but he may want to rest players because they've got a big game coming up this weekend, another journey to Ipswich.
And especially on the back of that beating from Forest as well. There'll need to be a reaction in the Premier League. And that's one of the games they would have earmarked before the season, Leicester, to get points from.
Lung-busting run from Garnacho. He's a star, but he has a wonderful work ethic as well.
Want to keep that ball in, take it out for the throw-in. Shows his attitude.
Double change, Martinez will vacate the left side of defence, and Mazraoui will return there. And he hasn't got on the score sheet, Marcus Rashford, but he's covered a lot of ground tonight. He's not exactly a 90-minute man at the moment. He's only gone the full way in 3 of the 13 games he's played this season. And it's a run out for Amad Diallo.
Diallo's a player I like a lot, actually. Watched a lot of him when he was on loan at Sunderland, and the fans there are very fond of him, so it's good to see him getting an opportunity tonight.
He has a number of youngsters on the bench who he cut blood, and of course there's always a Manchester United graduate in the first team. It's 2 of the senior players, Ahmad and Mazraoui, have a chance to impress the interim manager, and maybe watching from afar somewhere an interested manager.
I think that's the thing, players, they know they're always playing for the shirt when a new manager comes in, so that's why you normally get that bounce when the team sacks their manager. But as we know with Manchester United, it's about doing that consistently, but from what we've seen today, it's been impressive.
There's Garnacho. Macaulay sticking to his task. Ugarte. Still coming to terms with the demands of Manchester United after his £50 million signing from Paris Saint-Germain. They haven't enjoyed a really good sing-song too often this season, but all the old favourites are coming out as they're led by the old favourite.
Yeah, they're going to be hoping as well. It gets better, they'll want more goals. They saw 7 earlier on in this competition. They'll certainly want to look to match that. Good amount of time left on the clock.
Delete to Dalot. Garnacho. Fernandes. Mazraoui. Better defending. Oh, brilliant. What a first touch that would have been in the game for Ahmad.
Well, it's applauded by the manager, and rightly so. It's acrobatic, it's inventive. It doesn't miss by much. Gets kept alive in the box, a little bit of pinball. It's the 2 substitutes combining. And this will give us a better angle just to show it wasn't far past the post.
As you say, he made his name when he was loaned out to Sunderland. He's got 14 goals for Sunderland. They'd have him back in a heartbeat. Also did well when he was north of the border at Rangers. Still a relatively young man, 22 years of age. Ayew battles his way into the box. Referee saw nothing wrong with that challenge on Ugarte, and look who's back, Casemiro.
Of course he is. He's been absolutely excellent tonight, and Ugarte didn't get up too quickly. I think he's struggling a little bit.
Skip. Oh, nice touch.
So
needed to be as well. And Simari flew one in.
Wow. I thought this was flying in the top corner and giving us another goal to this game, but it's a fantastic save to push it onto the crossbar.
Macaulay. Justin. Lindelof. Manchester United get out of a tight situation well and turn defence into offence very quickly. Garnacho. Fernandes shooters the demand from the supporters. He passes on to Ahmad. The flag stays down. Ahmad with sharp skill. Ward only half stops it. Garnacho can't get there. Fernandes. Garnacho. Hit his own man, Mazraoui.
Well, they're not resting on their laurels, Manchester United. You can certainly see that they want to push for another goal, and that shot from Fernandes was flying. Outside of the foot, strikes it really well. It's just his teammate can't get out of the way.
Well, chances are plenty. 27 shots in the game. United's percentage of finishing those shots off as being good, that is offside. Against Dalot, which is promising when your right back is the farthest man forward.
I don't mind the idea, but I do think he starts his run just that little bit early.
Too much on the shot, way over the head of Deco Dover-Reid.
Let's have another look at this shot from Samare. And more to it, the save from Bayendir. Wonderful, fingertips flying across the goal. Crashes against the crossbar. He's not had too much to do today, but that is a very good save.
Bayendir is the backup goalkeeper, only his third appearance for Manchester United, but he is Turkish international. Did play at the Euros in the summer. Sadly for him, it was a 3-0 defeat against Portugal. Fernandes, Garnacho, Ugarte.
Too much space, hasn't he, Casemiro? The way that he just keeps popping into the pockets, and whether it's just behind Ayew there or whether it's deeper into between the midfield and the defence, he just always seems to be in space.
Garnacho ran into the defender there. He's injured his own knee. Referee keeps play flowing. Ayew gets himself into a trouble, and that is on it. Now Fernandes. Ahmad continues the run and tried to sneak on it at the near post.
I don't mind the run. I do think it's the wrong decision. There's Xerxes in the middle there that wants the ball. Obviously he wants to get on the pitch and make an impact, but that angle is so acute to try and score from there.
Leicester City preparing to make changes as well. It's going to be Yannick Vestergaard coming on. He's been out since August with an ankle injury. Okoli is the player that he naturally replaces. Okoli, of course, one of only two who started at the weekend. El Canous has gone off on the score sheet against Manchester United. It's like having a bingo sheet here, getting your numbers. Will Alves comes on for him. McAteer is another one who has played his part. And Mavididi will have a Wednesday night stretch of the legs. Also coming on, that is Alves there, who's quite a young talent. At the other end of the age spectrum, it's going to be Johnny Evans who takes the place of Delete in defence. He deserves a break, doesn't he? Garnacho, he's put in a tremendous shift. They need to wrap him up in cotton. Well, he banged his knee a couple of minutes ago. And now he scored the second goal for Manchester United, the one that Steve Cooper was a little sore about. They'll keep him fit and fresh for the weekend and Chelsea. And part of easing Rasmus Højlund back into action. Remember, he missed the opening 6 games. He had started for the previous 5, but Ruud van Nistelrooy keen not to overplay Højlund.
And this is the perfect scenario really for a forward coming on to get some minutes. There's enough time to get yourself on the score sheet, but as you mentioned, Garnacho has been tremendous.
There's Fernandes. Xerxes. He'll be happy to stay on the field of play. Play alongside Højlund. New look strike force. Dalot to Ahmad. And that again, they have to be careful with their challenges. Squirms away, and Ward hangs on for dear life.
It was a sharp intake of breath, I think, when Ahmad gets that ball and the defender dives in. Can potentially give away a penalty, but pulls out quick enough. Ahmad gets the shot off. See it here. Don't jump in. Does well, Samari, just to pull out quickly enough. Ahmad doesn't quite catch that shot the way you would have liked. Interested to see how Will Alves does that. Big hopes for him. It was under Brendan Rodgers, the next big thing coming out the academy, but had a horrendous ACL injury. It's taken a while to get back, so great for him to be on the pitch.
Bruno Fernandes puts his full might behind that one. Clears everybody. I say Alves, only 19 years of age, picked up that nasty injury back in, was it December 2022, made his return against Tranmere Rovers in the League Cup. Being eased back into action.
Yeah, it was a long road back, wasn't just a straightforward one, so it's not just physically as well, it's mentally what it takes out of you, so I'll be very happy to have him back on the pitch.
Flag stays down again. You get kind of accustomed, don't you, to thinking, well, we got VAR just in case that happens. Confirmation of the other substitution that we didn't see was Hassan Edouard coming on for Jordan Ayew. Højlund. Skip digging in. Referee takes a long look at that. Be happy Andy managed to steer away from any kind of controversy here tonight. Navidiri. By India. Ably placed to keep out the lively Will Alves.
It's a bit of a sighter, similar position really to where Amad Diallo's just had a similar type of shot. Wraps his foot round it, it's on target, but was never going to trouble the goalkeeper.
Maybe Steve Cooper thinking ahead to the weekend. This is more like his starting lineup now. for the game against Ipswich. Ahmad puts in the cross, Skip is there. There's Buonanotte, who took the place of Deco Devereed. Xerxes.
You see that reaction there from Buonanotte, that one of frustration. Xerxes does really well, that willingness to come back from that centre forward area to win the ball back. I feel quite sorry for him today, actually, because it's not falling. It seems to have worked for everyone else for Manchester United, but for Xerxes, despite working so hard, it's not falling for him the way that he would like.
Johnny Evans. Alves. Referee offers Leicester the chance to keep the play flowing, though Justin is down in a pained heap on the ground.
It's interesting that his teammates haven't stopped, but he's back up now.
Thomas. That's the big plus tonight, getting Vestergaard back. Did start the opening 2 in August, but has been out since then, the Denmark international. He would be first choice if fit, wouldn't he?
Yeah, and it's Fassen at Coley, you know, with him being out, that has been that centre-half pairing, but you'd think it would be out Fassen and Yannick Vestergaard sooner rather than later if they feel he's fully fit.
To be expected, Manchester United dominating the possession. Can they seek out a 6th goal as we approach the final 10 minutes? Xerxes. Fernandes. Answers the fans' call to have a shot.
It actually opened up for him, so you can't blame him, but at the last minute, Leicester managed to get the block in.
Hoyland. Fernandes. Xerxes, lovely turn. That's the midriff of Justin, just a corner.
The cross wasn't quite there, but the skill to fashion the half a yard was.
Former Feyenoord youth player, and of course a former Feyenoord youth coach, is Ruud van Nistelrooy. You'll know of the talents of Joshua Xerxes. Fernandes puts some spin on that, comes out to Ahmad. Fernandes gets a second stab at it. Fernandes is running the show at the moment. Dalot. Ugarte.
So Leicester now, they're just in the block, aren't they? Pinned
Casemiro to Fernandes. There's a brilliant ball. Class move.
See the frustration though. And I don't mind it, because the fact that they're 5-2 up, Manchester United, and Fernandes is so frustrated with himself, just shows that change in mindset that for so long hasn't been there. Whether it stays like that, we don't know, but they've put themselves in a good position to welcome Chelsea to Old Trafford over the weekend.
the senior pros have stood up tonight. The leaders in the changing room, Fernandes and particularly Casemiro, have been the shining lights in the team. Still the likes of Ugarte and Xerxes trying to win over the supporters and their teammates as well. They come in with big reputations, but it's a step up in standards when you come to Old Trafford. Justin. Skip. Navididi is a little uncertain, dipped awkwardly just in front of Bayindir.
Yeah, I mean, initially to me, it looked like it was potentially going wide, but Bayindir felt the need. Tell you what, though, to be fair, it was curling in towards the post.
Cody stations himself in front of the goal. Vestergaard is at the far post, but it doesn't get past the first base of Manchester United. Ahmad, clever. Casemiro. Højlund. Navididi. Blocked by Casemiro again. Højlund. Ahmad, definitely onside. Oh, maybe not. Referee's assistant was much closer.
Spoke too soon.
Manchester United always like to see one of the youngsters coming through. This is 18-year-old Ethan Wheatley. He was the 250th Academy graduate. The under-18s Player of the Year last year comes on. Little flash into the future. He takes the place of Joshua Xerxes.
As I mentioned, it's not quite falling for Xerxes tonight. He's tried so hard. He's endeared himself in that way, but sometimes you just need that little bit of luck to fall your way, especially as a forward, and it's not quite happened for him tonight.
And that is another department that the new management will feel they have to work on, bringing players through from the academy, getting that talent flow into the first team that this club has always been famed for. Navididi, lovely 1-2. Leicester looking to make the score appear a little more respectable if they could get a third goal. Alves inside, Navididi. Evans just stood his ground, wouldn't have been so easy to go diving in there. Casemiro's block, and the corner is prevented.
Johnny Evans, the former Leicester man, does really well there. As you say, it's easy to go charging in there, potentially give away a penalty, but he gets there quickly, but then puts the brakes on just to make sure that he doesn't do anything silly.
Ugarte with a backspin on the ball to Mazraoui. Mazraoui over Højlund, and it had to be nodded out of play by Luke Thomas.
Good bodies forward there, Manchester United. Højlund's there. Ahmad was behind as well, backing it up, so Thomas had to make that challenge there.
Ahmad, Lindelof's touch. Fernandes, the heart and soul of this team. Casemiro. measured pass, too much of an ask for the exhausted Bruno Fernandes.
Well, you mentioned Casemiro and how busy he's been. Well, Bruno Fernandes has been just as busy. As you say, he's the heart and soul of this team, and when he's playing well, he is a fantastic player. When he's happy, when he's confident, and he's looked that tonight.
2 goals to show for it, and the added responsibility of wearing that captain's armband of Manchester United. He's been the captain of a ship that many feel has been sinking. But there is talent there, and certainly 14th place, 7 away from the relegation zone, 7 away from the top 4. Has to be improved upon. Need a coach, maybe need a psychologist. Somebody to work on this team, get a collective together.
Yeah, there's no doubt there's the talent, but as you say, they've got to work in one direction together. You mentioned the players that have come in and sometimes fail because obviously the attitude and the culture within the dressing room for whatever reason isn't right. Some of that's down to the players, and obviously a lot of that's down to the manager as well.
Reminder that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer won his first game 5-1 when he was the new Manchester United manager back in 2018. He leaves it. Thomas delivers. Vestergaard gets ahead on the ball, but no direction.
See what he thought of that. Isn't happy. Gets up well. The idea is to knock it back across or find the top left-hand corner. Does neither.
Will it be a one-off? Will he get a little run until the new manager comes in? I think Ruud van Nistelrooy, when he gave his pre-match interview, was as uncertain as everybody, not quite knowing exactly what is going on. But he's got a reaction from the players tonight.
Yeah, he doesn't know. I saw at the press conference as well with Amorim. I don't think he's quite sure either, but what you need to do is just do the job in hand, and so far he's done that very well.
He does have ambitions. He was heavily linked with a move to Burnley in the summer until he came to Manchester United, answering the call of Ten Hag. I would say he's just happy to serve the club as well. Of course, the headlines are always getting rid of the manager, but the backup staff never quite know where they stand, and when the new boss comes in, he'll want to bring a certain amount of his former team with him as well.
Yeah, and I think it'll be interesting to see with the new hierarchy as well within the club, whether they're going to sort of director of football and that style where a lot of the staff stay and it's about the manager fitting into that, or whether he'll have a little bit more control. But I'm sure that will come out in the wash. It all remains to be seen so far.
Casemiro. May just be time for a 6. Casemiro is dreaming of his hat-trick goal there.
Well, you can't blame him for taking it on, but certainly wouldn't have been what he envisaged, and there's a wry smile from him there, knowing that it didn't look good.
Man of the match and goal scorer when United made it to the League Cup final back in 2023. And he's always set himself the highest of standards. He's been the standout performer for a Manchester United team, and subs tonight.
Looks fit as well, I think, throughout the season. At the time he's not looked fit, he's looked a bit slow off the mark, but today he's looked really sharp and bright. Well,
we don't know how long the rude rain is going to be, But he's put a smile back on the faces of those suffering Manchester United supporters. Shades of the old days, as the players he's inherited showed his goal-scoring skills. He enjoyed it. Casemiro, the star of the show. Garnacho creating one and scoring one as well. Fernandes scoring two and playing a proper captain's performance as well. But a reminder that in defence Manchester United still have issues. And for Leicester City and Steve Cooper, just maybe too many changes that upset their balance and their equilibrium. They're out of the cup, and Manchester United make it into the quarter-finals of the Carabao Cup. And in style as well. Maybe uncertain days ahead, but Ruud van Nistelrooy enjoying the unique experience of managing Manchester United. Well, Courtney, your final thoughts, your conclusion? Scoreline a fair reflection?
Yeah, I think so. There's those couple of moments where Manchester United looked frail at the back and Leicester took full advantage of that. But I think over the course of the game, Manchester United looked the more exciting, the team with the more impetus and attacking areas. And I don't think we can take too much of this, going forward in terms of what Manchester United will look like in the next few weeks. But what we can say is they're through to the next round. They've performed well, and Ruud van Nistelrooy will be a happy man tonight.
Well, Leicester City head off to play Ipswich at the weekend, and then they come back to play Manchester United in a couple of weeks' time. It may be by then that United are under new management again. And Manchester United have encouraging signs going into the weekend, and a tough game against Chelsea. This one of 4 home games in a row. But they enjoyed the homecoming of sorts for Ruud van Nistelrooy. He's been the shadows of Ten Hag on the touchline this season. And when he stepped forward, the players stepped up their game for him. And they have beaten Leicester City by 5 goals to 2 to advance into the quarter-finals of the Carabao Cup. Maybe at times this season, Courtney, those United players, they wanted to rush down the tunnel as quickly as they can, but they're taking the applause and the adulation of the supporters who've come out on a wet Wednesday.
Yeah, they have, and rightly so. You've got to enjoy these moments in football, but the big test now for Manchester United, the hierarchy, whether it be Ruud or the new manager coming in, is to carry this on and keep this good feeling in Old Trafford.
Good to have the focus on the field as well, isn't it, after the last 48 hours with so much speculation and all of the talk being about what will be happening in the manager's room, in the coaching zone as well. And the players came out tonight and they did well amid the uncertainty.
Yeah, good reaction. They probably wanted to do it for the interim manager as well, and he's obviously done a good job of trying to shut out the noise and saying, look, you're paid to play football, whatever happens at the top end of the club, you've still got to perform on the pitch for now, and he's managed to get a tune out of them for tonight.
Well, everybody got a slice of the action, and the applause from those that have stayed in. The Stretford end, undoubtedly tonight, the star attraction was Casemiro. He's not had the best of months. He was actually skippering Brazil when they lost against Uruguay in the last international break. But he came back tonight and showed leadership skills and goal-scoring quality as well, and got in the way of a number of shots. The complete performance of the former Real Madrid man. And some pride restored to the red shirts of Manchester United. Well, those are the smiles on the faces of the players, and these are the statistics. I think every column is going to be dominated by Manchester United here, Courtney.
Yeah, it is, and the fans you see there, they're happy with what they've seen, serenading Casemiro. But in terms of that attacking football that used to be synonymous with Manchester United, been a bit of a throwback to that tonight. That's what fans want to see, exciting football, players taking chances, being confident, taking players on. And I think for Manchester United, this was the perfect answer on the pitch to everything that was going on outside of the club.
Well, it's all about winning trophies, and there's a greater chance there into the next round of the Carabao Cup. And a thrilling evening here at Old Trafford. Let's cast our minds back. The first goal scored after 15 minutes. Leicester City making 9 changes, disrupted their defence, and an open invitation to Casemiro to have a shot at goal, and he let off a firework.
Really did. It was an absolute cracker. There'll be questions over Skip. It was Samare and Decode Reed in terms of why they aren't quicker to try and shut Casemiro down. But let's take nothing away from this goal. Always looks better when it comes off the crossbar as well.
Well, no VAR tonight. If we'd had VAR, they would have been assessing this. Leicester were adamant that Dalot was offside as he delivered the ball to Garnacho. He wasn't waiting around, he swept it in for United's second.
No, and that's what you've got to do, put the ball in and ask questions later. But I like this ball by Dalot around that back line, and then you just see this quick shuffle of the feet from Garnacho to set himself to bury that.
Well, the feature of Manchester